Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading for this March Equinox. So the sun is entering Aries, and so it deserves a collective reading, and the message came very, very quickly. So I feel like the answers are actually coming in a very quick way for the collective, whatever it is that you're asking to be manifested, because this is what we're talking about here, this manifestation that feels like it's falling on your lap, or maybe I should say into your consciousness. But before I continue, I'm doing this reading with my big combined deck of tarot cards, so you'll see both of them in your reading today. Although in your spread there are only tarot cards, the card in the bottom of the deck is from the Astrological Oracle deck. And it's kind of like the epitome of what is the signature, is what I'm hearing, of this message, which is to surrender, to receive. So in order for you to receive the blessings that are here, just surrender, open your arms, like quite literally open your arms to receive that. Because I feel like in the collective, it's almost like we've been spinning in the wrong direction, is what I'm feeling. And now things are, it's like now the movement of the world, the globe, the earth, it's actually changing, shifting in a way that we're spinning in the direction of like a very beautiful, abundant manifestation. And so it's going to feel, for us all, that things are showering on us. It's like we're receiving abundance and love and all of these blessings, almost as if they're falling from the sky, because this is exactly how the first card is showing up today. So we're beginning with the Magician, and this Magician today felt like it was literally falling from the sky. It felt like it was, it has the subtlety of a feather floating, right? But it had the intentionality. It had the almost like this very straightforward direction that was coming down to fit your head, right? So it's almost like this understanding that what is your manifestation, whatever it is, it's not going to miss you. It's like whatever is supposed to be falling onto your lap or into your consciousness, it is going to come to you, right? It's like this is it's a perfectly fit hat. It's like it fits perfectly your head, your mind, your consciousness, right? And so of course this is a message for the collective, and I feel like this is almost like this grander hat, this almost like how do I say, like a manifestation for all. It can be very specific, but it wants to be also like something in a grander scope, in a grander scale, just because the central card is the World. It's not necessarily the second card, it's actually the third, but it's right beneath the hat. So that's the reason why I feel like this hat is, it's like it's falling right over our heads, meaning almost like we're, symbolically speaking, we are the head, or we are the consciousness of the earth, of the world. And so this manifestation is, it's like it's fitting perfectly, right? It's arriving right at the perfect moment that the earth is spinning in the direction that now is appropriate, because we're ready to receive it. And so the next card being the Hermit. So, we have three major arcana beginning this very, very powerful collective reading. So this World coming actually after this, this Hermit is talking about this spinning, but the Hermit here is, it has multiple, almost like sacred meanings. And it has to do with, first of all, in order for us to catch, or to, it's not to catch, actually, this is almost like a trick of the mind, but it is inserted here and we're going to get to that part. But it's like we don't have to do anything for this hat of manifestation or magic this drop of magic to actually drop into our awareness, into our consciousness. It is already here because we have been doing the inner work that is required for that. And so everything that this hermit is talking about, joining all of the traditional meaning of hermiting, right? And we just had the lunar eclipse in Virgo. The hermit represents the Virgo sign. So it is talking about going within, going into this solar journey that is like, inward focus, so that you can alchemize everything that was within, so that as within, so without, as above, so below. This is all in here, right? All of these very symbolic meanings, but they have been studied, they have been integrated, is actually what I'm hearing. And so this is talking about concentrating, it's like merging our consciousness to the earth, to the planet, but also to what is above, to what is beyond, to what is coming from the sky, it's coming from the universe, right? So it's like the magic of the cosmos is dropping into our consciousness because it's like we are in the right, proper, integrated mindset, because our geometry is now opening up. It's almost like blooming like a flower. And, in the northern hemisphere, this equinox is the spring equinox. Here in the south, we have the fall equinox. But it's wanting to show this flower blooming because the way that I was seeing this hat, and before I saw the world card, I saw this hermit almost as if like everything collapsing in on itself. It's like joining everything to be like this central focus, but going upward. So it's almost like petals of a flower, but very tightly together and being wrapped so that there is a focal point, so that this hat can fit perfectly. And the moment that I saw this hat coming to the perfect position, so it's like, just touching, it's what I'm hearing right now. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's touching the tip of the iceberg is what I'm hearing right now. The feeling that I had was that the hat transformed itself into a skirt. And the skirt here was showing me almost like this, this shift. It's like being capsized. This is the image that I'm being shown right now. It's like everything being upside down, but now being corrected. And that's the reason why I saw this spinning of the globe now being course corrected. But that is almost like it's like a natural effect. It's like a natural consequence of this geometry that we needed to. It's like we needed to go inward, but also upward, so that this hat of wisdom and magic and manifestation could find us and fit perfectly with our geometry, so that it could open up, almost like, imagine if all of the petals of this flower are coming together and suddenly, like, it's almost like it's like sprinkles of magic dust, or it's like drops of heaven is what I'm hearing. It's like this beautiful magic dust. It's like dropping over this petal, over these petals, and magically they're almost like this sacred geometry. It's like this pattern just blossoming and everything opening up. And then when it does, showing the skirt, it's like everything now, it's going to the opposite side. So it's almost like everything that was closed in, it's now being opened and shown, right? So the way that I was seeing this, imagine as if the opening of this pyramid or the opening of this flower, it creates the same pattern, the same geometry on the opposite side. So imagine as if, there was another pyramid right below, but it can only occur after the blooming of, this upward motion. It's like everything that happens above happens below, and it's kind of like this mirror effect, right? And so this mirror actually is the geometry of the earth. I know it may sound a little bit complex, but it's actually quite simple. It's like everything that we are doing within. It's like the earth is also doing, but in a grander scale. And it's kind of like we are like an active participant of this. It's like if, you know, the ship of the earth, right? Let's say it's like this cosmic ship was capsized. It's like now it's not drowning anymore. It's like it's being course corrected because of this blossoming, right? Our consciousness is ready to blossom. So we're ready to receive all of these beautiful drops of wisdom, these drops of magic, because the world, right, collectively speaking, we are ready to receive this. And we're ready to receive it because it's now spinning in a way that the geometry, it's no longer stuck, it's no longer rusty, right? It's like it's flowing beautifully because it has almost like this it's like this internal axis, right? Because you see here how we have the this line in the center. It's kind of like the magnetic poles, right? So the geometry of the north and the geometry of the south is, and you know, we are in the equinox, so it's like when, you know, day and night are in balance. So in a sense, this is the perfect moment for this. It's like this equilibrium of the two hemispheres, the two geometries, right? So that's the reason why this blossoming of the north can emphasize kind of like this geometry that is going to stabilize here in the south. And so the two pyramids, right, opposite to one another, are actually the perfect geometry that symbolizes this new earth that's now spinning, and that it has been so for quite some time. So the Six of Cups coming next, it's interesting because I feel like this it's like this shower of blessings, this shower of manifestations, this shower of magic drops, all of this that is now fitting perfectly, right? It's like the hat fits perfectly. It's like we are sensing this because it has been coming. It's something that in the collective, it's like we could see it coming, right? It's not something new. It's not something that it's a surprise. In fact, it's been desired. It might have been even like asked for, right? And so it's something that is very, very intentional. So there is this, it's like this connection to the heart space that makes it so attainable is what I'm hearing. It feels like it's not just that it's been a long time coming. It's like, you know, like how light travels, right? It's like the light that we see in the night sky is like it's been traveling for years, right? So it's almost like we're seeing the past, but it's manifesting right now because it takes, you know, a little bit of time for it to get here so that we are able to see it, so that we can sense it, right? So that the earth can receive it perhaps in a more visible, in a more attainable way, in a more tangible way. So it's been coming, and I feel like the more we realize how close it is, our mind, and this is the alert here perhaps, our mind will want to seek out for it wherever it is. So it's interesting because, you know, it began with the hermit, which is a very inward focus energy, which is very appropriate, I want to say. It's almost like bringing everything from the external to your internal world, to your internal atmosphere, so that you can work with integrating all of these energies, right? Alchemizing all of this process. But I feel like the more we know collectively, the more we know that this is closer and closer and closer, because it has been traveling for eons, for, you know, however long, centuries, perhaps millions of years, to get to us. Our mind can go a little bit crazy, and it will want to search out. So it will want to go in an opposite direction, almost like the same thing that I was seeing with the skirt going down, right? It's like, you know, we're ready to receive because we're focusing in going up or in ascending somehow. But then when it's so close that we can feel it, right? That we can feel it in our hearts, there's something that our mind cannot really process it, because it has to do with the heart and not with the mind. It's like our mind will want to wander around because it's the Knight of Swords, and then it's being actually followed by the King of Cups. And these two cards, they came together. And it's interesting because the crown today is talking about the perfect fit to this hat, to this magician's energy, to the blessings that are coming from the sky, right? Everything that is falling on your lap or into your consciousness. So the heart knows that if it stays in this awareness of like everything that feels true to your heart, it's like you don't have to seek out. The mind, however, will want to look out for answers. And so this is kind of like the it's like the guidance, perhaps. If your mind tries to look for, what is the perfect opportunity to manifest? What is the quickest way to manifest this or that? Give me, this ready-made formula to manifesting. This is what the mind is going to do because it can sense the approach of this manifestation. However, the heart knows that, like, to really receive something, you just have to be, right? And this is something that, we're all learning here. We all have been studying. We all have been almost like in a very intricate, in a very precise, in a very patient way, we have been trying to understand this. But the mind still, it's like the mind feels, in comparison to the heart, the mind feels very young, almost like a toddler, right? It needs to explore going out, right? But the heart knows that in order to receive, it just needs to be still, right? Because this is where the crown is actually perfect for this fit, right? The hat is going to fall right here over this crown because it is exactly where it belongs. However, if the mind is seeking and looking elsewhere, it's actually going to miss it. It's not going to realize that the hat has already fallen, that has already arrived, that is already here, right? But it's because it's like the mind is distracted. It needs like a task. It needs something to do, right? It's almost like, so the wisdom of the heart is to remain still, knowing that this manifestation is going to fall from the sky almost without any effort. And I say almost because, there is effort. Remember that I was talking about how the petals were going inwards, right? Almost like wrapping your arms around yourself. So there is effort in terms of going inward and remaining in this very stable inward focus. However, it is also with the surrender, right? Surrender to not needing to seek out more and more and more answers, but knowing also that the mind will want things to do, to distract itself, or to it's like to just be busy, right? It's like the mind needs direction, right? Sometimes I say that the Ace of Swords is the direction. So it's like it needs missions, right? So our ego, right, needs missions because it is outward focused. However, the heart is the one who receives. So I feel like there is wisdom in staying, but there's also wisdom in giving your mind a few tasks that are not necessarily distractions, but they are clear, intentional directions, and directions to not go far, right? It's like, yes, explore. It's almost like do something with your hands, for instance, is what I'm thinking right now. It's like, or read a book, or it's like get the focus inward and upward, but yet, yes, do a little bit of what your mind is seeking, because it's almost like it will run itself or maybe yourself crazy if it's directionless, if it's not being guided by the wisdom of your heart, which is okay with just staying still, right? So there is a conversation between your mind needing to go elsewhere, not knowing the consequences of doing this, right? Because there is this contrast in regards to almost like this spiritual or emotional maturity to receiving. And especially because we're ending with the Seven of Cups, this is almost like it's even more love, it's even more abundance, or like it's like if you knew that all of these blessings would come, would shower, would fall down onto your lap, it's like you didn't expect that they would accumulate so much. It's almost like it's like receiving a hug from the universe. It's like receiving even more blessings than you thought that you would actually receive. And that's because you are doing exactly what you need to do in terms of staying. It's like there is compassion for your mind, right? It's like you being compassionate with yourself, with this seeking mind that cannot remain still long enough. But it's almost like you telling yourself that it's okay to wander around, just saying don't go too far, because in staying, this is where this abundance, this manifestation is going to find us, right? So it's like you talking to yourself, basically, your heart talking to your mind. And this is where it's like it proves to be very it's like very beneficial, right? It's like when your heart is filled with this, it's like this warm hug from the universe. It's like when you receive more than you were asking for, it's like it's going to feel like everything is okay, even your mind wandering around. It's like there is no regret, there is no it's like there is no anger or what is the word, deception, right? It's like you're not angry with your mind for wanting to roam around looking for answers. It's like it is doing what it needs to do, right? It needs to go out, it needs to go in missions, and but that's okay. It's like that is it's like the process of the mind, right? But once your heart gives your mind the direction not to go too far from where you need to stay so that you can receive all these blessings, this is when you know that you are exactly where you need to be, because it's like your mind is going to come back and it's like it's going to thank your heart for being exactly where you needed to be, where you thought that it was going to be most beneficial for you. So the Neptune card that is here at the bottom of the deck is like, you know, your mind coming back to your senses is what I'm hearing. But it's like your mind, it's like your mind saying, okay, heart, right? Talking to your heart. I followed your intuition. I followed the direction that you gave me. Thank goodness I heard you, because all of the blessings are now coming, right? It's like this is you not allowing the mind to go too far to take you off balance, because this is how you align your inner axis to the world's axis, let's say. So it's like this this internal stability, this internal pillar, right, that actually spins in the proper direction so that you can receive it. And the more you are open, so in a sense, now I'm seeing this Neptune spinning, right? But spinning in the same place with the arms open. So this is the wisdom of the heart. It's like this is the reason why the Seven of Cups is here, because it's actually concentrating all of the love that has been traveling, all of the manifestation, all of the magic, all of the light, all of the blessings that have been, you know, channeled or funneled, right? Talking about this funnel, being channeled and funneled down to you, down to the earth, down to, you know, this collective's perception, because we have been doing exactly what our heart has been saying. And that includes giving direction to our mind to seek just just further enough, just outward enough, so that our arms are wide open. I almost couldn't say that word. Our arms are wide open, so it's almost like the more we extend our arms, and this is the work of the mind, right? It's almost like the mind wanting to go outward. It's extending our arms, but it needs direction from the heart space, because if it doesn't follow the intuition, it's like our minds are not going to be directed well enough, or it's like they're going to be distracted and not focusing in what's important, which is, receiving the blessings. So it's like the more our mind is directed by our heart, it's like we know that we're at the same time in stillness to receive. Our axis is very stable in the heart space, but our arms are stretching, wider so that we can receive. So this is the reason why we are receiving even more than we asked for, right? So that's very, very encouraging and, beautiful. So I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go next. Also, I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay. Happy equinox. Bye.